Hello. Hello on YouTube. Welcome to the stream. So the way that I've started doing this is through, you can join the Zoom, but you must join it before 5:05, when I'm then live on YouTube. So you can join the stream from 5 to 5 up till 5:05. And that's the way you ask questions and speak during the streams through Zoom. So you must join it before 5:05, basically. And the Zoom link, it's the same link each week, and the Zoom link I posted on Facebook, I've pinned it, and on my website as well. You can find it there. It'll be the same link every week, so it makes it easier. But if you fail to join Zoom in time, you can always ask questions, written questions, in the YouTube chat as well. So yeah. So welcome. This is my old decorating jumper. Those who've seen my older streams will remember this jumper that I swore to throw away, but I'm still wearing it. I found it and I'm wearing it again with all the holes and everything. So the title of this is, oh yeah, time isn't true, this is. Oh, that's so beautiful. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? Hope you can hear me okay. I hope the volume's okay on the tube. So yeah, time isn't true, this is. So this is the pinnacle, really, of this subject called non-duality. The pinnacle, if that's the right word, the pinnacle of it, it sounds nice. The pinnacle of it is that time isn't true. That time, this functioning of time, this idea, this abstraction, this quantifying isn't true. I mean, that right there is a radical thing to point out. That time isn't true. So there appears to be the function of time. We're able to imagine future. We're able to create this memory of past, images, pictures of what's happened, like a snapshot of what's happened, and call it past. Imagine a future and call it future. But all that's happening, all that memory recall, all that picturing and projection is abstracting, happening right now. So right now there's the ability to imagine what happened and to imagine what could happen. And so this is the linear, the line of time, past and future, and this imagination that we are here in this moment now. We've come from the past and we're in the now. I'm gonna go forward in time, and that this is moving like this, and that's a great function to have, a great function to be able to plan and to enjoy memories, think of things, create in the head. But what's being pointed out in non-duality is that that functioning isn't a truth. It's merely that, a functioning. It's a functioning happening, and this is something that is not realized for most humans. There's this belief, energetic belief in times, this belief in past and future, like without any questioning of it. It is true. That is true. That's what's happened. That's what's going to happen. I am someone moving in time to the future from the past. But what's being spoken about in terms of, people call it this presence, the now, here, this, it is radically outside of that abstraction, outside of that mental functioning of time. That abstraction appears here as an abstraction, as a thought, as an idea. It isn't good or bad, it's just what it is. It's just an appearance, it's just a thought, an idea, a picture. But humans then suffer because there's this deep belief in that being true. There's this forgetting of this moment, the forgetting of what is actually happening, and this like fog of time, this fog of past and future, this fog of me in time. And so what's being pointed to isn't something radical, it isn't something spectacular, it's just pointing back to what is happening, what is. And these ideas of me, of you, of other, of the world, of time, these ideas are ideas. These ideas are ideas, are thoughts. And it isn't a strenuous thing. It isn't something you can practice or put effort into. It's just this revealing of that, the revealing of what isn't in time. This switch around from you being in time, this you story, this you narrative, this you experience of time, from that being real, from that being what's important. This switch to this acknowledgement of that being an appearance, of that being not truth, of that being something that is moving and changing and not a permanent truth. This remembering of what is true and what isn't. So this is perfectly complete. This is where there is no problem. And if there is a problem, like for the human, there's a problem of arising, then here is where it arises, and here is where it is solved. The action, the inspiration, the action, the answer appears here. This is where everything appears. The happiness, the sadness, the pain, the joy. Everything. 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 The only reason why this is ever a problem is because this you appears, this mental abstraction called you appears and tries to handle it all, tries to deal with what is happening, tries to interfere, tries to control what is happening. Thinks it has some part to play in what is. But that's an illusion, that's not true. Even when it appears claiming to be the one in the driver's seat, that's not true. It's an appearance, claiming to be the driver. It's an appearance. It's not true. Not true, not true, not true. Can't be true. think because obviously as humans, when we use thinking to make sense of things, to express ourselves, to communicate, we use thinking, we use thoughts. And so we've begun to believe we are a thought. That we are in those descriptions, we are in that language. We are in the head. And so as non-duality is heard, there's this resonance beyond the thinking, beyond the language, of that which is pure, that which is not changeable, that which is beyond the thinking, beyond the thoughts, beyond the language and the meaning of language. Where the thoughts are like, oh, I see something. Oh, I know something. Oh, that's the thinking mind. That's the thoughts seeming to narrate what seems to be happening. But it's just that narration. It's just that conceptualization. That's not true. That's not true. And so this really is about waking up to what this is beyond our thinking, beyond our understanding. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, this nakedness beyond language. Doesn't mean language is bad or language shouldn't be used. It's just knowing, this knowing, this knowing that that's not true. That's not the truth of the matter. And normally we think of knowing as a mental thing. Again, thoughts, language, like that isn't the knowing that I'm speaking about. It's a deeper knowing beyond mental knowing. Beyond conceptually knowing, beyond the thinking knowing. So beautiful. And in this knowing, you don't need to throw out the language. In this knowing, you don't need to throw the thoughts away or stop thoughts or stop feeling, or you don't need to. It's a deep, deep knowing. Deep, deep knowing. Deep, deep being or isness. Deep resonance. beyond the language, beyond the meaning of the words. So what is here now that isn't intellectual, isn't the thought? That can't be described. So feel free to ask any questions you have on the chat. I'm not sure. No, nobody joined Zoom. I'll get back to you. Oh, what happened there? Strange. Hi, Hi there. Hi. Do you need any type of drugs to get into this state? So I can understand why you might think it's a state. So normally humans have states of being, so and that state changes. So there can be a state of happiness, a state of excitement, a state of sadness, grief, anger, arousal, all these different states that change from one to the other, from one to the other. These states or feelings or energies change, moods change. But what I'm talking about isn't that. It isn't a feeling, an emotion, a state, a mood, all of those things appear. The human experience is like that. It's very changeful. Different moods, feelings. Yeah, the energy changes to, yeah, that's a different thing. So what I'm talking about is something beyond that. So all these human experiences change, but they're appearing here, and there's something that isn't a thing, but it doesn't change. It doesn't change, and yet it allows all these things to change and move. Keep it simple. Those things that are changing are also it changing, but it's just to keep it simple in explaining it. This is still, it doesn't move, it doesn't change. It's not a feeling or emotion or a way of being or a way of behaving. It's not anything. It doesn't exist as any particular thing. So needing a drug to get into this is kind of, it's impossible, because what's being spoken about, as I say, doesn't change, doesn't move. It isn't ever not here. It isn't ever not the way it is. So there's no getting into it or getting out of it, getting it or losing it. It always is. It's the only thing that is. So you believe maybe that you are someone separate, and you've come from time, so from the past, and you're heading to a future, and you feel this way, or you prefer this, or you don't like that, or you think like this, or whatever it is, mixture of different things. And it feels like I'm saying this sense of a person can get into this state of being, and it isn't. That sense of a person appears in this. It's an appearance. Whereas you feel as if you are the one looking, you are the one, the primary, looking at the world, looking at the chair, looking at the table. That's not true. You are also an appearance appearing. It's this shift back beyond these moving appearances, including the appearance of you, the character of a person. This shift back to the ultimate experience, if you like that which isn't anything, and yet all things appear on the screen of it. So the drugs and the state of being is about the human experience, the human having a drug and being happy, or being euphoric, or being depressed, or being whatever it is. That's the image on the screen changing. And this is more looking at who are you, who you believe you're this person, but is that person actually a truth? Is that really what's experiencing this? It's this shift, or this looking through this dream, believing you're this character, this human being, and actually that's not true. That character person's being lived, or it's appearing and functioning and playing, but it's not a reality. Hang on. Yeah, sorry about that. Lost the flow now. Yeah. So this is like, yeah, so getting into a state or something is already after the fact. It's already like after a stepping out of what already is. Like it's more for the character, for the human to want to alter its state, its emotions, its feelings, its experiences. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying you shouldn't want to alter things. That's natural to want to alter things and do things and try things, experience things. But what's being spoken about here is not really about that. It's about what already is, what is free already, what needs nothing already, what is at peace already, what is love already. Maybe drugs give you a touch of that or an experience of that, so it maybe knocks out this personal narrative, knocks out this identification to the narrative. Yeah, but that would only be a temporary experience. Thank you for your question. So my answer is no. Basically, it's no. That was a long-winded way of saying no. No drugs are needed. I know they're using psilocybin. They're bringing it into therapy and stuff. I'm sure it does. It helps with those things. Same way like getting stoned would help with certain things. But yeah, I think that there may be to help release stuff and work through stuff, but they aren't the answer. They aren't the answer really. If that's what's happening, if that's what's the attraction or the interest is in, then yeah. I'm really not opposed to anything. So yeah, there's so many things that you could do: meditation, yoga, massage, bare things you could do that would help the human release stuff and process stuff and feel better. Why not? Get drunk, get stoned, why not? But in terms of, I mean, even using those things to try to get to non-duality, it's okay, but non-duality is something that it's so beautiful, but maybe there needs to be a period of doing things like that. So I'm not opposed to it. I've taken LSD about 3 times now, and since then I have been able to duplicate the feeling of oneness without taking anything. So I believe drugs can be a great tool. Yeah. I'm a bit fearful of drugs, if I'm honest. I was drugged when I was younger, so I'm a bit fearful of that. Of drugs, but if that's been beneficial to you, that's been a positive experience for you, then but that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. But yeah, it could be a great tool. But yeah. I was going to say, but not for this. But who knows? I don't want to say that. Who knows? I just what I'm talking about is it doesn't need drugs to get to it. It is, but it just is. It just is the natural birthright of this. is this? So it's like, yeah. Yeah. But while it feels like you're separate, you are someone separate from this, then yeah, why not try everything? Why not do whatever feels good, whatever gives relief, temporary relief, whatever, yeah, why not? Why not feel better? Why not? Why not? But what I'm just trying to point out though is that person, that storyline, that narrative, that experience of feeling closed, feeling as if you are someone moving through time, isn't actually true. It isn't a real person in there. Like a step out of time. It's a step out of that dream. Thank you for your question, for your experience. So feel free to still ask a question in the chat box. So not everyone is capable of achieving this oneness that you speak of. I, for one, have always felt a connection to something higher and bigger than myself. But until I took LSD in a meditative state, I wasn't able to get even close to that. Now I need no LSD because my brain somehow figured it out. So I got there through LSD. You go there through some other means, over and out. Like in one way, I want to say that everyone, what did you put? Everyone is capable of achieving oneness, because this is about everything. Like this is everything. Like everything. There aren't individual people. There aren't individual separate people who can achieve anything. Like this, what you call oneness, is everything. So oneness is the room, oneness is the body, oneness is the tree, oneness is your neighbor, oneness is everything, is oneness. So this idea that not everyone can achieve this is already out in dream. It's already out in dream that there are separate individual people that can or can't achieve. So that's not true, that not everyone can achieve this. Like who would achieve it? This isn't about an achievement. This isn't about an achievement, a personal achievement. Like who would wake up? Who would achieve it? This is a really good question, because it brings this out. This is a really important point. The mind projects that there are people, and this is a personal message. This is for people to understand and apply and achieve. And that is so not what's being spoken about. That is so not true. This is a waking up. But not a person doesn't wake up. This is just a waking up. A waking out of that dream of person, of individual person, of autonomous person. So the idea that I go there through some other means really isn't true. The idea that you've figured something out also isn't true. That's a narrative that's playing. And that narrative is okay, actually. It's a narrative. But it's that attachment to that narrative as if it's true. The embodiment of that narrative as if it's true. That narrative, I have, she has, it's not true. And this is the juice of non-duality, the bones, the core of it. There isn't anyone. There isn't a separate person. This isn't personal. It just seems to appear with this so-called personal narrative, personal experience, but it's not true. It's not true. I'm not sure with drugs whether I'm not sure whether that is cleared up. I don't know whether that experience of being on the trip or something is taken personal, because I haven't experienced LSD. I haven't. No. I was yeah. So I don't know, but I can only imagine it would be taken personally. Yeah, so. But thank you for expressing that, your experience with LSD, and yeah, thank you for letting that come out and the conversation to happen. Yeah. Mhm. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, thank you. I shall see you again next time. Remember to if you want to join Zoom, you have to join, between 5 to 5 and 5 past 5. Yeah, you can always have your camera off, it's fine, but just join Zoom before 5 past 5. Yeah, so okay, thank you. It's been lovely to speak about this, and yeah, I appreciate this happening. Okay. Oh, lots of love. Bye.